Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? I hope you all have had a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week. Today, I want to start off with some questions for you. Who are you? Who are you in the process of becoming? What will it take? Have you even started seeking yourself? How will you know when you get there? Or are you already there? Hello, everyone. I am Kim the SME, the speaker of my experiences. And on today's episode of Community Solutions Podcast, I want to speak about the be in becoming. The be in becoming. If you are becoming, are you already it? Doesn't it already have to be in you? And then it just grows into the becoming? You're becoming what you are meant to be. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. As always, I always want to start off with the definition of the main word or the main focus of the episode that we're going to be talking about. And today is becoming. So when I looked it up, the Oxford Dictionary, and let me read it, it says the process of coming to be something or passing into the state of. So you're already something and you're passing into the state of. Begin to be, grow to be, acquire the status of. Okay? The Merriam-Webster Dictionary says to come into existence, to come to be, undergo change or development. So when you're developing, there's already a seed there. You're sprouting into something, you're growing into something. So that's why when I started it off, in my mind, whatever we are trying to become or whatever we are seeking, we already are. It's already in us. And when I read those definitions, it reminded me of fruit, like a fruit plant. I was never good in science. That wasn't my strong suit. It was always, English, grammar, and math, mostly math. And so I did a little digging, and this was new to me. Well, I'll say I've come into the realization that we are really like fruit. We start off as seeds, but those seeds come from something. Those seeds already are something. Does that make sense? It already is. It's a seed, but it already has genetic information. It's already programmed to be something. It's already going to have characteristics of something. If I was holding a peach seed, it would never grow into an avocado. It would be a peach, right? So whatever's in us is what we will be. Of course, there are determining factors, but we are already it. So for all of those, including myself, who are working to become something or to grow in an area or to strengthen a weakness, it's already in us to do that. And so that's what I want to talk about today. The process of becoming. The process of being. Being who we already are. So let's get into it. So like I said, just like fruit, we have different growth stages. We're seeds. Fruit have seeds, and then it grows into leaves, and then those leaves have flowers, and then it ripens a fruit, right? And that's just like us. We grow from this embryo, we develop these limbs, and then when we're born and we grow, we gain strength in our limbs, we begin to walk, we begin to use our motor skills, increase our motor skills. So there's always a developing stage. And I would like to say that there's no point that we should not still be developing. We're turning into something. Whether we like it or not, hopefully it's going forward and not backwards. I hope you all are still with me. Just like seeds and plants and fruit, we are a product of our environment. So just like a plant needs sun and the wind and the rain needs to be there and the good soil, we need to be aware of our environment. We need to make sure our environment is nurturing and is giving us everything that we need to grow, right? And that's how we become into maturity and we become fruitful. So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was very interesting. The only thing that the difference between fruit, how should I say it? We are different from fruit and animals because we can think about our thoughts. We can think about our thoughts. Plants, animals, they can't do that. Plants, animals, they can't do that. We can self-reflect. And so I'm not sure while you're listening to this, I hope that you are thinking about what are you becoming? What are you going for? If you're in your car right now listening to me, what are your dreams? What are you doing to get there? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What is your input? That determines your output. So number one, self-reflection. In order to know what you want to become or to realize what you want to become, you really need to look within to see, okay, what are my characteristics? What am I good at? What are my strengths and weaknesses? Why do I like this but not like that? Really dig into that. I've spent a lot of time, and I would almost say too much time, because a lot of times I'm doing more thinking than acting. We have to have a good balance there. Yes, dive deep into yourself, but also act on it. And so this is a product of my actions, which we're listening to, is digging deep into what's in me. What is it that I enjoy? What is it that I do not like? For example, I don't like small talk. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. It doesn't interest me. It's like busy work. Have you ever been in the workplace and your workload is light? You maybe have already completed all of your work, and then they just give you something. Management may give you something, or your lead may give you something just for you to stay busy, to stay there in the office. I don't like busy work. I don't like small talk. Let it be of substance. If you need me in the workplace, give me something challenging. Give me something that is necessary. Give me something that I can complete to further the process or the job completion. Don't just give me busy work. I'm more than that. I'm more than that. And you see how passionate I just got about that? That's something that I had to dig deep into. Why am I like that? Why do I not like small talk? Why do I want something of substance? That's because I'm an only child. I had no other sisters and brothers. There was no one at the house. My parents were working. There was no one there for me to talk to unless I'm talking to my friend on the phone. So there was no such thing as small talk. I didn't have to just have communication just to make someone else feel comfortable or for there not to be a quiet space. Quiet space is okay. You know, my daughters listen to this podcast and they say, Mom, you have a lot of pauses, a lot of spaces where there's nothing. You need to fill that in. And I told them, no, I don't. That gives you time to think, to process. You don't need everything going at 3 miles per hour when you're listening to it, or 3x it. Sometimes you just need to pause to sit there and to think, to process, to apply, to see, okay, she said that she doesn't like small talk. What is it that I don't like? I wonder why I don't like that. Use your pauses, right? That's all a part of self-discovery. We need quiet time so that we can dig into it. And I know, especially busy moms, it's hard to find that quiet time, but I really encourage you all to find, especially men, you all are always working and providing for the household. Really dive into why you act the way you do, why you react. Do you have a temper? Are you impatient? Are you honking every time you get in the car because someone jumped out in front of you? Are you always rushing? What causes that? Why don't you like to read? Or why do you always have to be busy? Why do you always have to be around people? Why do you always have to be at the club? What is it that you're missing? So these are things that you have to think about, think back and reflect and identify. This is all a part of becoming. Matter of fact, this is the beginning stage because we already are, but we kind of have to unwind it so that we can move forward. We are all walking around with this seed that I mentioned before. And that seed is our potential. And so our job on this earth and in this life is to uncover it, is to nurture it, is to have it grow. It should be something that is not just impactful for ourselves, but for those around us. It should be world impacting. Have you found yours? Are you looking for it? Are you open to trying new things? You know, just like how I said that just like plants, we need to be aware of our environment. We also need to grow. And I'm not just talking about naturally like our bodies. We also have to experience. We have to experience new things. Do you need to be repotted? Have you picked up a book that is nothing about what you're interested in? Have you tried a new hobby? Have you gotten out of your same circle of friends that you grew up with? Are you watching a different show on YouTube or Netflix? Matter of fact, I would love for you to comment and share what is the last thing you've actually learned that interested you? What have you learned that interested you? What drew you to that? And are you actively seeking it? Once you find something that draws your attention, I really hope that you are diving more into it, because you would be surprised at the treasures that you can find and where that will lead you. Life is like a treasure map. You know, you choose to turn right, and there's going to be something in your path that you end up picking up or learning or finding out or meeting someone new. And then that takes you onto another journey and another journey. It's so important for us to get out of our normal routes. My mother would say routes, but to get out of our normal routes. I don't really like to exercise, but I know that that's an area I had to grow in. That's something that I needed in order to grow, in order to continue growing. Because if you're not in good health, you can't spend time learning. You can't spend more time observing and trying new things because your health is going to hold you back. And so not only did I join a club, I joined more like a boot camp. Right? And I really enjoy it. I'm pushing myself to the limit. I've actually been consistent in it. It's not something that I just tried and didn't. But what happened when I did that is I met someone there. I met a few people there. And so I get to learn from them and we get to hold each other accountable. You see, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to stretch it because you never know who you're going to meet or how you can help them. There's been so many times that they've given me a word of encouragement, or I've given them a word of encouragement, or I have given them an example of something that I went through that they possibly are going through. So you never know how your experiences can help someone else. And so when I say I am Kim the SME, that is exactly what I mean. I'm the speaker of my experiences. I had to dig down deep. I hear that passion coming out again. My first handle on Instagram was, I am not a talker. And so once I had all this quiet time and I'm digging down and finding out, okay, why else am I not a talker? Not just because I was only child, but I also had grandmothers, all of my grandmothers, and I was blessed to have 3. At some point, they couldn't speak. And so the audacity of me to use a handle and to claim that I am not a talker. No, I am a talker. Matter of fact, I speak. I am the speaker of my experiences. So because the generations before me could not speak or chose not to speak, not to share their experiences, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. And so that's what self-reflection does. And in order to do that, in order to further that, do I need to take speech classes? Yes, that would be helpful. Do I need to read more? Yes. You see, as you make decisions, it guides you into your next realm. And here I am now with a podcast. And I'm not done yet. And I'm not saying this to brag or to boast or to, give you my inside scoop or anything like that. This is to encourage you, to inspire you, to motivate you to dig, identify, and grow. Grow. And I understand that not everyone has the same experiences that I have. So you may not want to dig deep. Some of you have experienced traumas that you don't want to open. And I understand that. I understand that. All I am saying is, for those who can, and for those who are seeking who they are, it's important to get to the root. And so, again, once you find that self-reflection, and then you start trying new things, okay, now let's really learn it. Let's try to master it. Who are we meeting along that new path? What can we learn from them? What can we share with them? What can they learn from us? How are we impacting them? And then you have to be resilient. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy ride. This has not been easy. The time that it takes for me to think about what I want to say and then have it structured and organized and then find time to record and then edit and, as well as work, it takes away from family. So you have to be resilient. You have to set goals. You have to set aside time. You have to be resilient. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. I'm saying that there's work to be done and I am the one for that job. This is what I seek to do. And what I have realized is some people just want to live. They just want to stay in that mundane routine. They're not looking for anything else. I believe some people are just thankful that they're still here. So they just get up and go to work. They're not looking for promotion. They may just complain about the status that they're in now, and they don't want to elevate. Or they want to elevate, but they don't want to put the work in. Or it gets difficult, so they give up. And I'm saying to you that it's so important to be resilient. It's so important to set goals. And so I'm not even going to tell you what my goals are. I'm not going to tell you what I need to work on. I'm just going to do it. Some people need people to hold them accountable, and teamwork is great. I totally understand that. But there are some things that you need to keep to yourself and just work on it. Let your actions show it. Some things don't have to be said. As you are going on this journey, it's so important to be authentically you. I am authentically me. I can't be anything else. I would imagine it to be so draining to do something that I didn't like every day just because I had to do it. Be authentic. I'm not the type that will just do something for money. There could be $1 million job that's offered to me, but I wouldn't be able to keep it because it's not for me. I need something that's more than just a routine. I want it to be purposeful. I want it to be impactful. I want it to make me think. There's a lot of people in it, especially in this social media age and this fast money age, where people are just doing things or creating companies, creating positions. I'll say creating companies based on the next. It's not about mission. It's not about purpose. It's just because there's money in it. And that could be you. I would love to hear your feedback. I understand that everyone is not built the same. Everyone doesn't have the same motivation. Some people know that money can create all kind of opportunities. They can get the money now and then fulfill their purpose later. And that may be you, and that's okay. That is your choice. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying that I can't do that. Some people create the job and then find the mission. Whereas myself, it's like, because I had all this self-reflection, I knew what my mission was. Now it's, how do I create the business around it? I know that in all of my interactions and all of my pain points and challenges, it was because I was helping people. It was because I was trying to intervene or assist. And it ended up backfiring on me. So that's when I realized everyone doesn't want help. Everyone doesn't want a solution. Some people just like the problem. And so instead of me always trying to help people or provide solutions, I need them to come to me. And in most instances, they did. And that's when I realized that, okay, all solutions aren't mutually beneficial. I've mentioned this in my other episodes. All solutions are not mutually beneficial. Sometimes they're just one-sided. And so that's why the name of this podcast is Kim Unity Solutions, SOUL, because I want solutions with souls in mind. That's what I'm here for. That's my purpose. I want everyone in this world to be able to identify and recognize what a real solution is. To stop being tricked by these one-sided opportunities that end up hurting you. That's my purpose. That's my mission. So yes, I want to say, let's start in the workplace, because I've had challenges in the workplace. But I want it to permeate throughout, beyond the office walls. My mission is, let's put human back into relations. I'm not HR. This is not about human resources. This is about putting human back into relations, understanding that everyone doesn't react the same way you do. Being mindful, extending grace, using your intuition, and treating people how you want to be treated. There's a formula to it. That's my mission. That's my authenticity. Because it's based on my experiences. Some things you don't need a degree for because you've experienced it. There's a lot of people out here with degrees, but they've never been able to apply it or experience it or been the recipient of what they are trying to fix. And I feel that that is something that should be experienced. That's how you get to a real solution. And it's okay to be different. It's okay to be creative. You may come across a mentor or a leader who is really trying to help you, but they weren't given your gift. They don't have the key to unlock your box. They don't see your vision. So it's hard for them to direct you into where you should go. Now, they can tell you what has worked for them. They can tell you about the paths that they have and the steps they have helped other people take. But it doesn't mean that you should forego your dream and your path and your vision to abide by what they say has already worked for them and others. That's what it's called, trailblazing. You're blazing your own path. You're paving as you go. You're burning a hole in it as you walk through it. And that's what I'm doing. And I've experienced, I'm telling you what I've experienced. Just because you're given advice doesn't mean you need to take all of it. Yes, there are pieces that you will need, but there's also a place and a destination that they don't see. It was only given to you. So by taking their advice, you're going to be misled. That's what misled. You're going to be led to the wrong destination. Find out who you are. Dive into it, learn it, master it, share it. Be authentically you. Be open. Be creative. Be courageous. Use your intuition. You have to be bold and courageous to take steps that no one else has taken. And to go in all of your uncomfortableness. As I flip my paper right here, because I did take some notes for you. Now, as I speak on things that you need to keep in mind as you are becoming, as you are growing, as we are growing, it is so important to also not, you shouldn't have to step over anyone. You shouldn't have to knock down anyone. You shouldn't have to kill, steal, lie, destroy to get to who you are trying to be. When you have to start manipulating and lying, you're not becoming, you're just doing. And there's a difference between becoming and doing. Doing is just action. It's not something that's really within you. Just like the example I was saying about people just starting businesses without the mission. It's just about the money part. They're doing something. In the process of that doing, are they learning? Yes. Are they, and can they identify things that they can use at another level to become who they are? Absolutely. But remember that there's a difference between doing and becoming, in my opinion. You can do things all day long, but it doesn't mean that that's who you are. That's of you. That's the authentic you. You shouldn't have to take advantage of people to become. You shouldn't have to steal from anyone to become. It's already in you. So there's always talk about the competition and all of that. I don't know who else is in my lane. I don't know who else is a thought leader or has the same thoughts as me. Yes, I have read books and I know that there are similar paths, but we don't have the same experiences. I don't have to knock down anyone. I don't have to talk bad about anyone. I don't have to give them a bad rep or to sway their customers into something else. It does not have to be like that, because I am and you are. I mentioned before that becoming is growing, just like a plant, and I spoke about repotting. As you are becoming, as you are growing into who you are meant to be, who you are, as you are unwinding and unraveling who you are, what are you outgrowing? Who are you outgrowing? Just like a plant can outgrow its pot, it needs to be replanted into something else, something that has more room for it to grow. Who have you outgrown? What have you outgrown? Are you still wearing it? Are you still surrounded by it? Are you still hanging on to it? Are they still hanging on to you? Are you still in the same parameter? Understand your environment. As we're growing, our feet grow. We can't stay in the same shoes. We have to get a bigger shoe. As we are outgrowing some of our old friends. That friendship is only based off of old memories. But if you're growing, you're going forward. What are you growing into? Make room for that. When you start reading more books and you start listening to lectures and you're educating yourself and you're going to meetings or you're watching documentaries or whatever it takes for you to become that, whatever steps you are taking, you are outgrowing something. And I would love for you to identify that. In the comments, I would love for you to let me know the last thing that you've outgrown. Or what are you moving away from? What no longer serves you? It's okay to let go. You know, I look at this plant right here. This plant, and I know if you're just listening to me on the Audible podcast, you can't see my plant. But right now it has one big leaf. It has one big leaf. When I got this plant and the first few months or so, it had about 6 big leaves on it. And now it's only one. And I'm looking at it like, is it dying? So I repotted it. I put it in the pot. And that's when the leaves fell off. All of them but one. And so I kept watering it and kept watering it. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I don't know the end result. I don't know why my leaves are falling off. But then I go back to it and I look at it. And over this past week and a half, I have about 11 tiny leaves growing. 11. They're very tiny, but they're sprouting. I started off with 4. It had outgrown its plant. It needed to be replanted for further growth. It had to be removed out of one situation into a better situation. It requires more water. It requires more sun. So now I have 11 leaves, 12 that I need to look after. So despite what it looks like right now, because you can barely see these tiny leaves, there's only one big one. But that's what growth looks like. You're going to lose something. You're going to shed what's no longer needed for new growth. Just like hair, right? All that shedding, you get the brush and all this hair coming out, but you have new growth. So don't be ashamed of where you are or what it looks like. And I'm speaking to myself right now. I'm speaking to myself because I'm not going to continue to look at how many likes or follows or purchases I have. I know I'm making an impact. I know that I am nurturing. I know that I am doing what's in me. I know that I'm not stepping over anyone to get there. I know that it makes sense. I see the vision. And just like when you're walking down a path, you can't see all the way at the end. I just have to look at these steps. I just have to keep taking these steps and follow the directions and look for the clues and use my intuition. That is all a part of becoming. It's the experience. It's the growth. It's the elements. Open yourself up and accept it. I encourage all of us to grow. I encourage us all to look for new things, find new things, challenge yourself, even though it won't be easy. Change your surroundings. If you've outgrown some things, let it go. Or put it to the side if you don't want to let it go. Put it to the side. Spend less time around it. You're worthy. You are worthy. Again, if you're only listening to this podcast and not watching the visual, which has not been uploaded yet, I am wearing this shirt. And there's a clothing brand out there. It is called, let me get it right, the Then Who brand. The Then Who brand. And the shirt that I'm wearing says, if not you, then who? And when I saw this, excuse me, when I saw this, it spoke to me so deeply. If not you, then who? I bought the shirt and I put it on for today for this message because it hit me so deep because there's so much competition out there. Just because you're in the industry as someone else is, or you're in the same state as someone, it doesn't mean that you can't become, you can't develop into who you're meant to be. Yes, you may have the same education, but you have different experiences. There's something different that led you to where you are, where you're trying to be. If not you, then who? Just like I told you, everyone doesn't have my experience. I am the person for this job. I am the person to develop this seed. No one else has the same stories that I have. And if I don't tell them, if I don't share them, if I don't share my thoughts, then who will? Who's going to step into your shoes? Who can fit your shoes? Who can tell your stories better than you can? Who can do the job better than you? Who can connect those dots better than you? Whatever position you hold or you're trying to hold, it's for you. You have what it takes. And I am saying, go for it. Lean into it, step into it. If not you, then who? You are already who you are trying to become. It's all about the unveiling. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. I hope that it has been informative, inspiring, motivating. I hope it has caused you to think and to self-reflect and to challenge yourself and to be open to new ideas and to take paths that haven't been taken and to positively impact the world. If not you, then who? This episode is about the be in becoming. You are already it. Until next time, I hope you have enjoyed it. Tune into my YouTube channel that I will be updating soon. Like, follow, subscribe. I look forward to sharing and inspiring and motivating and being with you next week. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye-bye.